Tony Gollan joins us on Racenet TV. He's got Spirit of Boom in the Yellow Glen Stakes, formerly known as the Salinger. He's booked Nash Warrawilla for the ride. Mate, how's he going?
Yeah, he's going really well. He's freshened up nicely now, a month between runs. Had a good jump out here at Flemington last Friday where he went very good. And yeah, we're looking forward to Saturday.
His Boom's like the straight course?
Yeah, look, he seems to. He hasn't won down it yet like his brother, but he's come so close a few times. So well, hopefully he can break through. We know it's a strong field, but he's drawn nicely in barrier 11. If he can pop on the back of a bit of speed, get some cover, and I'm sure he'll be in the finish.
Any thoughts on the track, Tony? We're just here now. It's had a little bit of rain. It should hold up okay. For the straight course, for the punters in particular, are they going to come down the centre, do you think?
Oh, they tend to now, don't they? They just sort of don't really go to the inside or the outside. They sort of come to the middle, and then everything sort of seems to get their chance. But these few little showers that are forecast, I think will do the track more good than harm. It's been quite firm, as everyone knows, and I think it'll only make it a really good surface. Europeans
will be rubbing their hands this morning. What did you make of his last one?
Look, I did think he was a fraction disappointing. He loomed up where I thought he was going to win inside the furlong, and he laid in quite badly and just didn't quite finish his race off. Hence why we've backed off him a month between runs. We've schooled him, give him another trial, and the horse is absolutely glowing now. So the instructions will certainly be to get cover, hold him up as long as possible, and get him out inside the last two furlong. He's been exposed a little early down the straight, and we won't do that this time.
You've got Temple of Boom and Too Many Reds down here at the moment. When can we expect to see them?
Too Many Reds will run in the listed race on Cup Day. He's travelled down from Sydney in great order, and we're very pleased with him, only narrowly beaten at Randwick last start. And Temple of Boom will run in the Patnack now. He's reaching peak fitness in his prep, and we're looking forward to it.
Okay. Good luck Saturday.
Cheers, thanks mate.
Paul Snowden joins us on Racenet TV. Nice little team heading to Flemington, home track on Saturday. We'll start off in the first race. We've got Proverb and Tatra.
Yeah, both colts are good. Tatra's coming off a bit of a lacklustre performance for us. First start down here a few weeks ago now, so we've given a good freshen up. He'll probably wear winkers on Saturday. Just hopefully he can turn it around and show us what he can do. Proverb, same thing. He's coming off a bit of a freshen up. He trialled here last Friday in good order, off a good draw. I think he'll run well.
Proverb's a horse that looks like he puts in some of his best runs when he's fresh. Fair to say?
Yeah, look, he's a progressive type. We probably haven't seen the best of him yet, but up to the mile on Saturday, I think he's going to suit him.
It's a race you guys won last year, I think, with Galar off the top of my head.
Yeah, and the year before with a couple of times kidnapped as well. So, looking forward to Saturday.
Okay. In the mares race, the Maya Classic, we've got Shannara and Raspberries, who I thought was a bit unlucky last start. Yeah,
probably both were. They were back markers in a race. They never went hard in at all. It was dominated by the front. So you've got to put a line through there. This is their grand final for both of these fillies, so we're in good order, both of them, and they've drawn good gates for us, so they're going to be in the mix.
And in the last race, I think it's the last race, Freewheeling, who was very good first up. Looks like he's come back in top order.
Yeah, he's quite soft first up, so it was good to see him put that class of horse away the way he did. He's always going to improve and just use the races to sort of get him to where we need to be. And if he can run well on Saturday and win, we'll ideally we'd like to look at the Emirates for him on the last day.
It's a race of the double's been done a few times, isn't it?
It is, but he, as I said, he's an up-and-coming horse with a lot of ability, so we'll know a lot more after Saturday, but he's going to be hard to beat.
Paul, he was a horse that, from memory, he was up in Brisbane as a 2-year-old. It was a bit unlucky, a couple of things didn't go right, and just last Brisbane campaign, he put in some very good runs as well.
Yeah, he ran into a lot of wet tracks before he went up to Brisbane last year, and it's no good for the horse. So, hence the fact that he was in at I think it was Rose Hill about 3 or 4 days before he came down here. It was wet, so we brought him down here, and obviously the better tracks, and he won accordingly. So, he's an on top of the ground horse, and if we can get that ground on Saturday, he's going to be mighty hard to beat.
So I'll do whatever the opposite to a rain dance is. I'll start doing it for you. Is there a best on Saturday?
Look, very hard day. We've got 5 genuine chances. I think they've all got some hope.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, mate.
John Sadler joins us on Racenet TV. He's got Winchester in the McKinnon Stakes en route to the Melbourne Cup. How did he come through the Caulfield Cup?
Really good, Nick. Yeah, very pleased with him. He'd be a better horse here. I expect him to run quite well on Saturday. I think he'll finish off his race well, and hopefully that's the case, and we can then look forward to the Melbourne Cup and getting to the 2 miles.
His run in the Caulfield Cup was quite good. He sort of went to the line, didn't quite have the zip of the ones that beat him home. It gives you every impression the 3200 will suit him just perfect.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he when they sprinted at about the 700 metre mark, they really did leave him for dead. I was disappointed in that part that the winner, who's obviously a very good horse and one of the favourites for the Cup, just shoved him out of the road and said cheerio. But then the last 200 metres of the race, I was pretty happy, and he's never had a chance in his career to have a crack at 2 mile. He was in America where the furthest he could go was 2400, and so it's going to be really interesting. But first, we'll get over Saturday first, and hopefully see him run a really good race, and then look forward to the Cup.
On Saturday, Johnny's back to 2000. Wait for Age tackles a Cox Plate winner. Do you give yourself a chance of knocking him off?
Realistically, no, but. You know, he's there to win it if he can, and not just there for a hit out. He's there to win it if he can and earn some stake money, and I'm sure he'll be doing that.
Look, the Cox Plate favourites don't have an awfully good record. Cox Plate winners don't have a good record in the McKinnon anyway, so it's there for the taking.
Yeah, well, you know, he's obviously a very good horse, and he won extremely well. He and the 3-year-old were a long way in front of the rest, so yeah, he's going to be hard to beat again, of course. But as you said, that it's backing up a week later, and no, we won't finish far from him.
Good luck Saturday.
Thanks, Nick.
Cheers. And Tuesday. Gary, the David Hay stable on Saturday's pretty well represented, certainly in the big race. We might kick it off with Rawnack. How's he come along?
Yeah, no troubles. His work's been good this week, and Dave's kept him up to the mark for the 1.5 miles, so all going well. If we get a dryish track, he'll perform well.
So hope it doesn't rain anymore out here then.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's run once on a slow track and was pretty ordinary. So.
In the fillies race, the Wakeful leading into the Oaks, we've got Mama's Choice, who I thought her run was a bit better than it looks on paper in the 1,000 Guineas, and Maritime.
Yeah, it was okay in the 1,000 Guineas. You would have liked it to have finished a bit closer, but now over the 2,000 should suit her.
And Maritime?
Maritime, yeah, she's another one that's probably should have won a couple up to now, but it's always been a bit unlucky. So we've thrown her in at the deep end a bit, but we think the 2,000 will suit her too.
From memory, she comes off a Pakenham race last night?
Yeah, Pakenham race. She beat a half head. Yeah. Another stride, she wins, but probably just the distance beat her, I'd say. It wasn't far enough.
She a filly that looks like she'll really get over a lot of ground?
Yeah, it's always looked like a filly that's going to stay a bit.
Okay. Fictional account as well?
Yeah, another mare that's done all the work up at Euroa, and we've taken her around to a few different country tracks for gallops and that, and she's very fit. Didn't perform in Sydney in the Metrop, but we just put that down to her. She just didn't travel all that, well, and she seems well in herself, and this is her last chance to get into the Melbourne Cup too. So, all hoping.
Fingers crossed. Who's the best on Saturday?
Probably lean a bit towards Maritime, I suppose. Yeah.
That's a good push. Thanks for that.
Thank you.
Mark Kavanagh joins us on Racenet TV. Mark, a couple of very handy horses on Saturday. We'll start with Super Cool in the Derby. How's he come on from his Vase victory?
He's trained on really nice. He's probably improved a bit since last Saturday, but I mean, the makeup of the Derby is totally different to the 2,000 metre race last week.
25 out to the 2,500. Looks as though it should suit.
Yeah, look, you hope so. I mean, you just don't know whether they run it until the end. I mean, but he gives you the indication he's going to be able to handle the 25.
Getting back to the improvement, he won brilliantly first up at Seymour, off the top of my head, I think it was. And then had a couple of unplaced runs, or a sixth and I think a third or a fourth, and back to the winner's circle last start. There's a couple of people saying the slow tempo didn't suit, it's a done deal, but your bloke was pretty good.
Well, that's right, it's just in the run. I mean, if he gets a good run from the alley and gets him to put him to sleep, he relaxes nice, and he's got to turn a foot, so we'll just see what happens Saturday.
Where does he go in the run?
Oh, well, I don't know. He hadn't raced over 2,500. He might sort of be midfield or get back or whatever. He'd just go to sleep in the run. So that's up to Michael. It could be a muddling affair. Could be plenty of pace. I'd wait and see.
Bit of rain about this morning. That have any concerns for you?
Look, Fastnecks invariably don't like a wet track, but there hasn't been enough rain here to affect the going for Saturday.
Okay. McKinnon Stakes, December draw. Went round in the Caulfield Cup last up. Fair to say didn't see out the trip?
Yeah, I mean, it's been well documented that he never saw the trip. Michael was kind to him the last couple 100 metres and sat right up on him. He's back to his favourite track. He's back to his favourite distance. But in saying that, I mean, if it was a handicap, I mean, Ocean Park would be sort of 8 kilos above him, and he's sort of half a kilo below him. So it's going to be hard to beat him.
Yeah, but they don't have a real good record, those Cox Plate winners in the McKinnon, do they?
Well, no, but you know, gee, it's pretty hard to knock a horse that's won his last 4 Group 1s in a row.
Going on to Tuesday, Mark, who's your tip?
Don't know yet. Don't know. I probably would like to have a look at Mount Athos. I think he could be the one. But you know, I thought my early tips didn't even get a run in the race, so leave me alone.
Good luck Saturday.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers. Well, the Randwick Connection's flown all the way to Melbourne. We're at Flemington Stables. We've got John O'Shea with us on Racenet TV. On Tuesday, John, we saw both Shelford and Night Exemplar in the jump outs. They're heading towards the Coolmore Stud Stakes, a race which almost brought you some fortune last year with Foxwedge.
Yeah, we've been all around the race for a couple of years now, a couple of seconds, and won it once when it wasn't a Group 1, unfortunately. But look, it gives us another opportunity this year, and preparations have been great. Obviously, going into the race with 2 maidens is probably a first time for us, but they've had great preparations. They showed in their trials on Tuesday they'll be more than competitive, and you know, we'll see what happens.
Night Exemplar owned in the same connections as Foxwedge last year. How do these two compare to, say, Foxwedge and going back 2008 Fist of Fury? I think ran second in Northern Media from memory. Yeah,
look, probably got very similar profiles. I mean, Foxwedge won the Roman Consul, albeit narrowly. Night Exemplar got beat in the Roman Consul, albeit narrowly. So, you know, very similar profile in that respect. And with regard to Shelford, he finished 6th or 7th in the slipper. Foxwedge finished 7th in the slippers. So, you know, they're similar conveyances, albeit they haven't sort of had the win. You know, Foxwedge won a San Domenico. They hadn't done that yet. So, but they're very, very nice colts, and you know, they, like I said, they trial well on Tuesday, and indicative they're going to be competitive on Saturday.
What did you make? So of the trials, they were obviously good. Was there one that you thought maybe went slightly better than the other?
I look from our own perspective. Obviously, Night Exemplar is the more seasoned conveyance. You know, the problem with Shelford is he's just probably a run behind, albeit it wasn't his fault. He just had a little minor setback in his preparation. He's been that run behind all spring, but he's catching up, and you know, he does have the lucky part of being seasoned nicely as a 2-year-old, but he's just, you know, in terms of his condition and that, I'd love to be going into this race having had one more run.
Okay. Can't let you go, John. You're a good judge. Melbourne Cup's next Tuesday. I doubt we'll be able to catch up before then. What are your thoughts there?
Well, it's going to be a very interesting race, because 2 of the better chances in the race aren't going to make the field, and Briggerton and Shawadi. And you would have thought that Jinnadin would, you know, struggle to carry the weight, and same with Americane, but their main opposition aren't going to be on the field. Mate, my feeling is that Galileo's Choice, he's got right under everyone's guard. I think he's over the odds at $26. The fact that Jinnadin and American are favourites says that Red Cadeau has to be in the race. He's going much better this year in Europe than he was going into the Melbourne Cup last year, and he meets him better at the weights. So taking into account that Shawadi and Briggerton won't be in the race, from what we can gather, you'd have to say that, you know, my feelings are that Galileo's Choice and Red Cadeau will fight the race out.
That's good. He was out here yesterday, from what I was told, Galileo's Choice. Did you get a chance to have a look?
Had a little sneak.
What did you think?
Well, look, his form in Europe is excellent. He meets the right profile, albeit, you know, we like to have the horses. History says that Europeans need to have a run in Australia before they run in the Cup. There's one trainer that's been able to do it consistently without running in before the Melbourne Cup, and that's Dermot. So, yeah, look, he looked magnificent. He looked very well and worked very well.
Good luck Saturday and Tuesday.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.